Okay, let me thank you. Let me thank you for coming. Today, I want to talk about something that is important, finding your purpose, finding your purpose, finding your purpose, finding your purpose. And that phrase is operative. Couple key words: purpose is key, your is key, finding is key. Purpose exists. It just is. It's out there. It's something that's out there for each one of us. So purpose exists. You've got to find yours. I would suggest to you that purpose needs to be searched for. You've got to find yours. So let's talk about how to find it, how to find your purpose. As I was thinking about this, I thought about, first of all, the steering wheel. How important that is. Life without a purpose, without knowing your life, without knowing your purpose, is like you're driving a car without a steering wheel. It's going to just go all over the place and hopefully not cause disaster for you and others. But that's the downside of living life without purpose, without knowing or finding your purpose. There are a couple people I know, well, a lot of people I know who found their purpose. I ask people a lot of questions. Just the other day, I asked my wife, I said, who has been a lifetime school teacher to special needs people and has opened our home to special needs children. I mean, we took in about 13 children into our home. And I always would stand back and watch her operate with such patience and tolerance. I said, how do you do that? And she was always the one who could get the best out of the kids, even those kids who either didn't want to come to school or who were so disenfranchised, even damaged in terms of their life circumstance that when they got to school, they just weren't ready for it. My wife was able to get the best out of them. That got them to, they turned out to be productive. So she found her purpose. I said, how did you do that? Where? She said, well, it comes from a place in my life. My wife, her parents, her father died. She was 13. Before she was out of the 11th grade, her mother was dead. So she was pretty much on her own, bless God for older siblings who, kind of became surrogate, but she was aware that she didn't have what they had, and that was, parenting from biological mother and father. But she had a school teacher who didn't have children and who took care of her. I mean, not just took care, but nurtured her, coached her, got her into college, got a scholarship for her, and had literally was a lifetime friend. I would also say a lifetime coach. There was something on that lady who paid attention to my wife as a child that triggered, that released in my wife what she wanted to do. And what she really wanted to do was give back to those who were in a position that she found herself. What can happen if you don't find your purpose? Well, you can spend a lifetime drifting. You can spend a lifetime, in situations that are just miserable or worst case deplorable. And there's some very loving, very kind, very talented, very creative people who've ended up in the wrong place or wrong places because they never tapped into, never found not only who they were, but what they were to do. I'd like to talk about real quick now, close out, and shut it down with this. First of all, it's okay. If you haven't found yours yet, it's okay. That doesn't mean that you're a bad person. That means just keep searching till you find it. Here's what I tend to watch people. I tend to look very closely. I tend to talk to people. I tend to be interested in a lot of things. And if in the process of all of that searching, something resonates with me, I have learned that that's my moment of discovery, so I tap in. I'll give you this example. We talked about it in the other session on Monday. I was sitting in college class, and my professor in economics, and that was not my major, he was just talking about some economic principles. And and it's something stirred in me in that very moment. I left class. I was working for this guy, and I bought the guy's truck. The little money I had, I bought the guy's truck, and I got some contracts where he was getting contracts from. And I started hiring people, hired 3 guys, and I'm sitting up in class, they're driving my truck, doing my contracts. Well, that's one example of many, and I would say this to you: you may not have just one purpose. There may be purposes in you, but there are a lot. But you have to begin the search. Don't go everywhere. At least go somewhere. And one place is a good place to start. I guarantee you this: it's like one foot before the other. One place will lead you to the next place. One of the worst things that can happen. I remember passing a cemetery here in town. It said God has provided. We often talk about God will provide it. They were talking about on a marker on the cemetery, God has provided. Tragedy is, in so many cases, He has provided. And like a buddy of mine said, and we took a lot of that stuff that was here for us to do, work through and accomplish, we took it back to the grave with us. So look, it's okay if you haven't found it yet, but one of the things you can do, and that is start today. And I guarantee you, you will feel purposeful when you find your purpose. Thanks for listening.